Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, I want to take a look at this book here. This fits into the teen humor category, just like Archie. Before, just a couple weeks or so ago, I went over a Millie the Model from Marvel Comics. And now I have, which is not teen, but humor, and was done in the same style as the Archie style. Here we have Harvey, number 4, from 1972. It's Marvel Comics. This, of course, is teen humor, just like Archie. The art is done in that Archie style, which I think it was originally developed by Dan DeCarlo. Is that right? I think so. And then moved elsewhere. Okay, this is let's see. Harvey. It was, of course, a teen humor comic published by Marvel from 1970 to 72 for a total of 6 issues. This was written by Stu Schwartzberg and drawn by Henry Scarpelli. Okay, and Scarpelli, he was from 1930 to 2010. He's an Italian-American comic book artist, both penciler and inker. Worked on a lot of humor titles, such as Date with Debbie, Leave It to Binky, Margie. Margie was based on a TV sitcom, and others at DC. I also worked at Archie and drew the Archie comics, the Archie newspaper comic strip in the 90s and 2000s, and I didn't know it was even still around then. Get on the stick there, Archie comics. Let's get some reprints of those comic strips, newspaper comics. Get on the stick there. And Stu Schwartzberg, as both a writer and an artist, and he worked at Marvel on Not Brand Ek and Spoof, and the Marvel Curtis black and white magazines and stuff like that. So they both had pedigree in humor styles, humor comics. So let's take a little look at Harvey. Of course, it's not just Archie style. He's an Archie-like character. This is Harvey, a red-headed teenage boy. He's got his best friend is kind of a goofy guy called Goober, and he's always chasing girls, with his primary girlfriend being Raven. This young lady right here. Now here we have, "Why so dolled up, Raven?" That's Goober talking. Says, "Would you believe it, Goober? Harvey's waiting to take me out to dinner," and she's all dressed up. Of course, she's like an excited kid. She's rushing, but then says, we see Harvey dressed like a slob around the corner at the hot dog stand. "Heavy on the mustard, pal. That's how Raven likes it." Hectic happenings and hilarious hang-ups. But it only had 6 issues, and I think this is the only one that I've got. And I would like to see more, because I like to see this kind of stuff from other publishers from time to time. Okay. So, Harvey, rock and roll is here to pay. And it's at school. And Harvey and Goober are part of the dance committee for school dance coming up. And they're supposed to come up with a band. But they're distracted. They're late for gym class, and hilarious hijinks ensue because they're rushing and they're not the best athletes and stuff, and nearly killing the coach. What's his name? He'll get it. He'll get it when we see him. Yeah, look out below us here. Almost killed again. And then almost killed again with Goober. And then they're knee bends. Yeah, Coach knee bends. And he takes him to his office to chew him out. And then he sees a picture on the wall behind him, and it's of a band, and a singing group from the 50s, Little Dewey and the Dewdrops. And Coach Kneebends was one of the band members back then, and even Harvey knows the band. So he tries to get them. They do talk him into performing for the dance, and Coach is kind of excited about that. Gets his old buddies back together, and they're singing and singing, practicing. Here they are at the dance, and singing. Somebody comes up, says, "Oh, cool!" Happens to hear them singing, and I'll pay you doo-ops $1,000 for a one-night stand in Hoboken. Well, $1,000, of course. Remember, this is 72. $1,000 would be about like $5,000 today. And so suddenly everyone's trying to get in on the act, trying to sing. Then another story. This is at the roller derby, and here, just like Archie used to do, they would often put an extra pretty girl somewhere in the foreground of these scenes. That's kind of beyond their usual pretty girls. So here they are, and Goober's not at the roller derby, and they're just warming up. And it's so violent, Goober can't stand it, and they have to go get some snacks and stuff, and they want to being mistaken for new replacements. Fill in on the team, and they get rushed into the locker room, dressed up and shoved out. Neither one is worth a hoot on skates. And then the girls were trying to find Goober. They find them out on the track, and they wound up getting roped into the team too, for the girls team. So then the opposing team gets there, and it's just like murder, but the girls are it's hilarious. And just by sheer accident, their team won. And then when it comes out that they're not really team members, they lose, and they wind up having to forfeit the win. Funny. Then we have, this is sometimes these books coincided with actual history. Now in this case, in this one here, everybody's peeking at us as a Peking. Of course, now it's Beijing, but this is when Nixon was president, and Nixon went to China to open new diplomatic connection with China. And one of the videographers for the news happens to be Goober's uncle. And Goober and Harvey are hired as assistants for the videographer. So they wind up going to China. They're on the Air Force One with my fellow passengers, Richard Milhouse Nixon. This is before Watergate, of course. And and crazy stuff ensues. They wind up nearly killing them all by opening the door, which isn't possible, but it's goofy stuff. They get to China, and they try to latch up with some pretty Chinese girls, and they don't speak Chinese. The girls don't speak any English. Yeah, and then hilarity ensues when the pretty girls have big goon boyfriends and take out after him, and they nearly wipe out the president. Then by sheer accident, they are get caught on TV making with the girls in China, which really irritates their girls back home, and causes problems with Nixon, and there they are running around. But that's just a nice little little intersection with the real world history at the time. So, short and sweet. And that is Harvey, number 4 from Marvel Comics. Teen humor, and is a lot of fun. Because all these creators, they bopped around from publisher to publisher doing most of this. So, at that time, Archie creators had worked at Marvel and at DC doing the same kind of stuff. So I hope you kind of enjoyed that. It's a fun little change, seeing what other publishers were doing in this same genre. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe, and do leave your comments down below about Harvey, about the humor, about Nixon going to China, whatever. And remember, comics are art.